Hello. I was very sick yesterday. I had celebrated me and my kids, or my kids. I mean, I do have multiple kids, but it was just a singular kid. Um, our birthday. His birthday is also in April. We're little April babies. I didn't do much on my actual birthday. I went out, and that was a entire ordeal. I think it's time, folks. I think it's time, boys, that I just stopped drinking. But that's a story for another day. And yeah, then I think I just overate or maybe something, or maybe I just wasn't as rested because I've been working quite a lot. A lot of things are going on in my day to day, and um, yeah, I was just working a little too much probably in the last few days, and never really recovered from my day or night out. So I was just feeling super sick yesterday. My God. I was in bed the entire time. I was just super achy. My stomach, I was feeling super nauseous throughout the day. And right now I'm feeling super tired because I was just playing catch up on a lot of the work that I have. And so I still got some work to do, but I'd figure before I jump right into it, I'm going to do some exercise because I've just been sitting all day, and that's incredibly bad for you. It's only going to compound my aches. So I need to move around. And so I'm going to do that probably right after this video. But yeah, it's been an extremely long day. Very productive though. Got a lot of stuff done. Feeling pretty good. But gonna have to uh call it probably in the next hour and just lay down and then wake up and then rinse and repeat. But what I wanted to talk about was just like the feeling of being sick. I think that sometimes, when we're sick, we feel life more purely. You know, while I was laying in bed the entire time, I'm just constantly reminded of what I care about. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I do and I've done in my life where it just makes me think about kind of what I really want to accomplish, you know? And when I'm sitting there being super sick, just thinking, well, shit, like this is a bummer. I can't do much of anything. And then the thing that's on my mind is, um, hold on, let me redock this. On my mind is like, oh man, I'm gonna fall behind on some of this work. It's kind of like, damn, dude, you need to get your shit together. you know. And this is a reoccurring theme of mine. I work a lot, even when I don't have to. Um, and then as a consequence, I just find time to just chill. But this is one of those times where I do have to work a lot. There's a lot of stuff that I just need to take care of. And if I don't take care of it now, it'll just be a challenge for me moving forward, you know? And so I just need to make sure that I'm staying on top of these types of things. And so um, for me, a lot of how I've been feeling was just amplified. I was just thinking about my friend and what he's going through. Because, like I said, a close friend of mine just lost a close relative of his. And I'm just so far away and I can't really do much about that. And I was just like, man, what bad timing. And like, these are the types of things that I only care about. I only care about helping those I love dearly whenever they need me. And I'm like, right now, uh, in no way able to do so. When my close friend Rob, the real inspiration for me to even do YouTube videos again when he passed away, like it was another one of those like, man, I wish I could go, but it's just the timing. It's just not the right timing. I just can't go right now. Um, and so like all of this stuff just was adding up, and then I'm just sitting there feeling really sick, and my wife was just like straight up saying to me, "You might be just working too hard." You know, she was just like, "I think you just need to take more breaks." And again, I did a video just not too long ago about taking more breaks. Um, this is one of those moments where it's like, do as I say, not as I do. Because I absolutely should take my own advice on this type of stuff. Now, making YouTube videos and this type of content is really not that big of a deal. Like this is not the stuff that I ought to take breaks on because this is easy and fun, and therapeutic. Like even just right now, me talking about how I feel, it's just really nice and allows me to be reminded of my humanity. But I just need to kind of get back on that list grind and that calendar grind. I used to create lists and use like Google Calendars religiously. Back when I was incredibly busy. And right now I'm incredibly busy again. And it's becoming clear to me that I need to get back on that. I haven't been this type of busy, truthfully, or like I have so many things on my plate. Truthfully, since maybe like before the pandemic, I think after the pandemic, just naturally, many things slowed down. So I felt like, although I'll always find myself really busy with stuff, it felt really nice that everybody else was kind of going at a more modest pace, if that makes sense. I think more and more folks were just feeling like, yeah, let's just kind of live life a little bit. But then, probably in the last few years, and just especially me being an American, just looking kind of the state of things, I think more people are a little bit more anxious, as have I. So I'm just kind of like getting all my ducks in a row to make sure that I can kind of be in a up and up for the next few years. But that being said, I think the pace is kind of driven up again, you know. And I still hold this perspective that all these moves for quote unquote like AI taking over, I think it's going to be short lived, and as a consequence, the vast majority of these companies and studios are going to start to reach out to you know human made talent again. you know and as a result, I someone like myself will probably be reached out even more frequently for those same reasons, as many of you guys might if you have been keeping up with your portfolios, and making a name for yourself during this time. But yeah, it just reminded me, just being there sick in my bed. Even right now, like my wife took all the kids out to the park, and it was really nice for them. But I was just at home, just working. And it reminded me of this story that I once heard. And I'm gonna go ahead and like end the stream with this story because I think I'm gonna go move my body. I can feel. In fact, I think I should have done that first and then done the video because I feel tired. I think I should have moved and then did this video and then got to work instead of like I'll do the YouTube video first and then after that I'll do some basic movement exercises. Now I'm like, dude, should have totally moved first. I still believe in the do this first thing in the morning. Oh my gosh, my phone's blowing up. It's probably emails. They're like wanting me to check stuff. I'll check that after. It is after hours for me, but yet duty calls. Um, I need these like bird like shapes. I like birds, so let's just like more bird shapes here. Um, but yeah, like I could feel that I'm a little tired, so I probably should have just done some movement first. Anyway, uh, the story that I heard still resonates with me even to this day. It's a really powerful story, and it was told to me at a video game event called GDC. It's one of my favorite events, and I was hanging out at lunch with a bunch of other developers, and we were just chatting it up. And one of them came up to me and was just telling me about like how they were a big fan of like the stuff I did and all that good stuff, and it was really cool. And then I was just telling him, like right now I feel super busy though. Like I feel like I got a lot of stuff to worry about in my day to day. I have a lot of things on my mind, and oh my gosh, this phone. Hold on, let me. You guys might not be able to hear it. Oh yeah, let me just mute all of this. Okay, I'll respond to that right after. Um, but I was just telling him how there's like so many things going on in my life, and I was just feeling a certain kind of way about it. And he was like, "Man, like seems like you're just constantly chasing stuff. And why don't you like kind of pace yourself and find what you think is the most valuable?" And I said, "Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just not sure kind of what those steps are or what to do, but I'll work on it." And he's like, "Well, let me tell you a story about a fisherman." And I said, "Sure." And he's like, "So the story goes, there's a fisherman on a dock. He goes fishing. He catches this really beautiful fish, usually every day. And once he does, he goes and delivers it, um, you know, to the market, and then takes some of it home and prepares it for, you know, lunch and dinner with his wife. And while that's happening, he hangs out with his kids. And then once they're done eating, then him and his wife usually go out and they go dancing. And this is like the common day for this fisherman. He goes fishing, puts some fish out, cooks it, eats it with his kiddos and his wife, and then his wife and him go out dancing. Oh yeah, and he hangs out with his kids. Hangs out with his kids, goes out dancing with his wife in the evenings. One day, a businessman shows up to the dock. It's on vacation, thinking to themselves, I'm going to take this trip to kind of let loose. Sees this fisherman catch this exotic fish. This businessman has been there all day, hasn't seen a single fish. And this fisherman just catches not only a fish, but one of the most beautiful fish he ever seen. And he was flabbergasted. He said, "Hey, what, like, can you tell me like how you did that? Like, what the heck?" And he's like, "This is great." And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So he teaches them, and businessman's like, "Hey, can you help me like prepare it? I would love to try it." He's like, "Yeah, sure." And he prepares it for him, tries it out. Businessman is like taken aback. He can't believe how delicious this fish is, and says to the fisherman, like, "Have you ever thought about starting your own business and selling this fish to like the village?" And the fisherman says, like, "Well, not really. Like, I'll go and do this and that, but ultimately I don't. I don't really worry about that. But why would I want to start a business and do all that stuff? Like, what's the reason?" It's like, "Well, like once you do that, guess what? The next thing you can do is you could start to sell to some of the other villages and to some of the other cities and make even bigger profits." And the fisherman, again, it's like, "I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I would do that. Can you tell me why I would want to do that?" You know? And the businessman is like, "Listen, if you make so much money from all this fish, you could start a franchise. You could start selling it globally. And the fisherman yet again says, well, okay, well, why would I want to do all that? So if you start selling globally, you'll be so wealthy, you'll have so much capital that you could take vacations like I do, and pretty much do whatever you want. Like, what is it like? Tell me, what is it the things that you like to do? And the fisherman says, oh, well, I love to go fishing. I love to prepare food for my kids and my wife, and then go out dancing. These are things I like to do. And he says, the businessman then says, see, if you make enough money, you can do all of that. Now, I kind of paraphrase the story. The story was much more elegantly told from this person I met at GDC. But that story, even to this day, like that was like GDC 2017. Like this was long ago, um, or even longer. And I have, for that amount of time, have been trying to find a way to just be back to that level of being a fisherman. Because that story, when told, the moral is that the fisherman's already doing what they love. They are already doing the thing that this businessman is making it seem like he doesn't have access to. And the moral of the story, the thing that the story is trying to tell you, is that when you start to go down this path of business, it just seems like it is unsustainable. Like it will always keep leading you to do more and more. Me moving to Nicaragua and living out here only amplifies my feelings of that. But recently, you know, because of all of the, um, because of all of the things that I've done before and just kind of the standards that I've created, I I still have to work a pretty good living, at least for the next few years, before I can probably be a fisherman again in the context of the story, meaning that I can truly just be doing some basic stuff, like things I really care about, hanging out with my family, doing stuff with my wife, and then maybe making my own projects, like working on my own things or working on maybe a meaningful project for a larger company, but just doing that one. I don't need to do multiple, because it's really important for me to tell you guys that, like, I really love the journey that I put myself on in terms of really accomplishing my goals. And I really do love a lot of the successes and, situations that I've seen myself in. And I have really no regrets. But whenever I think to myself, what was the best time making art? Like doing this craft. When did I feel really excited about stuff? And it was back when I was like a student, back when I was just trying to learn how to be good at art. This is why my art style changes so aggressively, so often, because that's still who I am. I am this like student for life. And helping other people accomplish their goals is like me vicariously living through them, you know? And at the moment, I just have to work a little bit harder to build enough capital that I can genuinely just chill, while I still have my good health. But yesterday just reminded me, and it's probably my body reminding me, AJ, there's balance. You can still accomplish these high-end goals and strategies that you have in your mind, but perhaps you've overdone it again. Perhaps you're overworking to become the fisherman. And that was just a good reminder. So, what I'm definitely not going to do, if you're hearing me talk about this, is stop making YouTube videos. The reason why I didn't do one yesterday, I did like a little short. I was like, I got to do something. And that was like the only thing that I could do that I felt. It was in my fingers because I had my phone in my hand. And even then, I still screwed up. I looked at it today and it was like, I could see that there was like the CapCut like editing logo, which comes with the templates that you might use. Was still there, but I was like, ah, whatever. I'll just keep it there. It's an example of my rushed attempt to get this out. But yeah, just so I can break my streak, because I definitely have not missed a day technically. I didn't make a long form video, but hopefully you guys will forgive me for that. I know you will, because I have some of the best audience members, so I'm not worried about that at all. It's just more of like a strategy on my end to try to kind of maintain this habit that I've been doing. I've been feeling really good. And again, today was one of those days where I started working first when I probably should have done the video right off the bat. But yeah, I don't know. My feelings about making the video first usually comes when I feel pretty good about where I am at with work. And just because I had that crazy sickness, my feelings about work were very anxious, to say the least. Again, the pressures of my jobs are not that extreme. It's usually on me. Like I try to stay on a pretty tight schedule, especially lately, because a couple projects ago, I think I didn't do as good of a job. But yeah, I am trying to get on that ball. Now I'm just rambling. But I feel pretty good, all things considered, for those of you guys who might worry. I think I'm just tired. And so, getting this video out, doing another really cool little painting for y'all. Got the bridge with the man with the staff. Classic. I think we got to make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's crop this too. Anyway, I'm going to go move my body a little bit. Anyways, hope you guys appreciate my back from recovery. I still feel a little sick, but I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. Literally yesterday, guys, I was just in my bed all day. My wife was just making me tea and giving me like electrolytes so I wouldn't die from malnutrition. So street cred goes to the wife for taking care of her overworked husband. Anyway, appreciate y'all. See you guys in my next video.